In this section, you will learn more about the HIPAA security rule. In general, the HIPAA security rule requires covered entities and business associates to do the following. 1. To implement administrative, physical, and technical safeguards that reasonably and appropriately protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of electronic protected health information, also known as ePHI, that is created, received, maintained, or transmitted. 2. Protect against any reasonably anticipated threats or hazards to the security or integrity of ePHI. 3. Protect against any reasonably anticipated uses or disclosures of ePHI that are not permitted or required under the privacy rule. And 4. To ensure their compliance with security by its workforce. How we apply the security rule. For administrative safeguards, policies and procedures are required and must be followed by employees to maintain security. For technical safeguards, technical devices are needed to maintain security, such as assignment of different levels of access, screensavers, devices to scan ID badges, and audit trails. And physical safeguards must have physical barriers and devices, such as locking doors, monitoring visitors, and securing unattended computers. How do we apply the security rule? Here are a few policies and procedures to follow. When using the Internet, access only trusted and approved websites, and refrain from downloading software programs to your workstation. When using email, keep content professional. Use work email for work purposes only. Do not open emails or attachments from a suspicious or unknown sender. Do not forward jokes. And follow the department's policy for sending secure emails. We control ePHI access through the following: by using names and passwords, biometrics, using screensavers, and enabling automatic log-off on our computers. The Department of Health and Human Services must implement technical policies and procedures for electronic information systems that maintain ePHI to allow access only to those persons or software programs that have been granted access rights as specified in the HIPAA security rule. The Department of Health and Human Services must assign a unique name and/or number for identifying and tracking user identity. It enables an entity to hold users accountable for functions performed on information systems with ePHI when logged into those systems. The security rule requires the Department of Health and Human Services to implement procedures regarding access controls, which can include the creation and use of passwords to verify that a person or entity seeking access to ePHI is the one claimed. The use of a strong password to protect access to ePHI is an appropriate and expected risk management strategy. Never share your computer access password with anyone or post your password where others can see it. Remember, client identifying information is the most secure when it resides in the electronic client record application, such as the electronic health record or other systems that your program may use. Never save client information to a shared drive unless it is in a limited access folder. If needed, contact our IT staff to set up a limited access folder on the shared drive. You are responsible to monitor the folder and contact IT to make appropriate changes to access rights. What makes a strong password? Generally, the Montgomery County Department of Technology Services controls minimum requirements for access to county systems. However, even though the Department of Technology Services has minimum requirements for good passwords, there are a few good conventions that will help. Do not use passwords that others may be able to guess, such as your spouse's name, pet or child's name, any significant dates, or favorite sports teams. Usernames and passwords are required by the HIPAA security rule. What can I do to help protect our computer systems and equipment? For workstation use, Restrict viewing access to others. Follow appropriate log-on and log-off procedures. Lock your workstation. Press Ctrl-Alt-Delete or Windows key plus L. Use automatic screensavers that lock your computer when not in use. Do not add your own software and do not change or delete hours. Know and follow county policies. If devices are lost, stolen, or compromised, notify your supervisor immediately. Do not store PHI on mobile devices unless you are authorized to do so, and appropriate security safeguards have been implemented by the county. If there is a county PHI on your personal mobile device, Montgomery County reserves the right to wipe your device clean if it is lost or stolen. This could potentially mean the loss of your personal pictures and files. We recognize there are numerous choices for a cloud computing solution. Here at the Department of Health and Human Services, 365 OneDrive and SharePoint are the only approved cloud-based solutions. Appropriate use of email can prevent the accidental disclosure of ePHI. Some tips or best practices include the following. Use email in accordance with policies and procedures defined by the Department of Health and Human Services. Use email for business purposes, and don't use email in a way that is disruptive, offensive, or harmful. Verify email addresses before sending. Include a confidentiality disclaimer statement, and don't open emails containing attachments when the sender is unknown. The security rule requires departments to implement hardware, software, and/or procedural mechanisms that record and examine activity in electronic information systems that contain or use ePHI. As part of the new process and technology modernization effort that the Department of Health and Human Services is undertaking, the department has established a monitoring and auditing program for its electronic systems. The department may now utilize audit trail functionality for system troubleshooting, for policy enforcement, compliance with the security rule, mitigating risk of security incidents, and monitoring workforce member activities and actions.